Hello, everybody. Welcome to this live Q&A show with the attorney Margaret W. Wong, with over 45 years of experience in the immigration field, helping thousands and thousands of families every single year, and working with many people, over 60 people working with her every day for over 45 years, and with 9 offices in the United States of America. And thank you so much for joining us today. Feel free to ask your immigration questions, and if you have any question, just write them down and we will take care of your needs. So thank you so much for having us today. Let's welcome the attorney Margaret W. Wong. Good morning or good afternoon, Ms. Wong. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, and thank you.
Thank you so much for having us today, Ms. Wong. And um, despite of everything, life is good. Life is good, and we need to be thankful that we are alive, that we are here in this country, that so many people are coming through the border, through the airport, through everywhere. And we have good news because we're living on 2022. President Biden is the continuance of President Obama. And this week, actually, I think it was yesterday, is the 10th year of DACA. So it's the 10th anniversary of DACA. What does this mean for the people? What does this mean for all the beneficiaries of DACA that came here to the United States, being kids, being under 16 years old, came before June 15, 2007, and they found a relief at least until now. What does this mean for them?
Yes, so basically, when it first started at the end of the Obama era, we're really hoping as time goes on that could get these young people the green cards and stuff. But now the rumor has stopped. So right now, there's really no new legislation or proposal of any new legislation to give DACA kids, TPS kids, DED kids green card or citizenship. But for now, something is better than nothing. But the new filings that after Trump stopped the program, you can still file, but they give us a receipt. But so far that we are not seeing approvals. So if you didn't get the approvals, you couldn't file the parole. The parole program is back on DACA kids. So if you want to travel and you already have a parole approved, you can still file for parole under DACA, which is very nice. For TPS people, you could still do parole. That means you can still travel. But in the early days, when they grant parole, like under green card parole or different types of parole, they normally give you a longer period. Now the parole is not only really approved for that one specific trip, one specific program. So it's really interesting how the law basics never change, but the theory and is still there, but practically things have shortened and it's changing.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this reflection about DACA. And what happens if I never filed DACA? For example, I was born on 1984, and I came to the United States on 2000. Uh, well, I had to be under 16, right?
Right.
So
So
I
I
had
came to America before June 15th of 2007. So if you're born after June 15th of 1881 and you came to America before June 15th of 2007 and you came before the age of 16, you could file DACA because those sometimes you came at one and now you're over 15. You could only file after you're over 15. You're like 16 now. You can still file, but it would not be approved because you never had one approved. But that's okay. File it, get a receipt, and you'll still be in line when it opens up. You should be approved. Right now, those cases are sort of in limbo.
Yeah, Ms. Wong, just I have a doubt about this. Is if I was already 16 or before turning 16?
before the birthday of 16.
Oh, okay. So there's no chance if I was 16 already. So let's say now I'm 38. Okay, I was born in 1984. I came in 1999, but I never filed nothing because I didn't have bachelor's degree or high school degree. Can I file now?
Yes, you can file, but it probably will not be approved. You'll sit there until it opens back up.
Oh, okay. Well, this is interesting, and thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for clarifying these questions. On purpose of the 10th anniversary of DACA since 2012, the June the 15th. It was yesterday, so 10th anniversary. We have the first question coming in. A person from my neighborhood in Venezuela came on a caravan, but unfortunately, she passed away in Mexico. She had stomach cancer and was seeking medical help in the States, but she couldn't make it. Is it possible to grant a humanitarian visa to her kids? They came with her.
There's no such thing for humanitarian visa for her kids because she never made it here. And I'm sorry, the answer is no.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Well, it's a short answer, but well, maybe they could have another opportunity if they are in the United States. Could they do maybe the word of court or juvenile status?
Juvenile status, either one of the parents has to have neglected, abused, or abandoned you. If one parent died, but before her death, she did not abandon you, we cannot use that parent. Because I had a case just like that. I felt so bad. Yeah.
Wow. Well, is what immigration is in the United States of America. The rules are very, very clear. So if you have any questions, please just write them down here in our Facebook Live, and the attorney Margaret W. Wong will answer with her over 45 years of experience working on this field. The phone number is 216-279-3984. 216-279-3984, and she has offices in 9 cities of the United States: Atlanta, Columbus, Cleveland, Chicago, Memphis, Minneapolis, Nashville, New York, and Raleigh, North Carolina. And the phone number is 216-279-3984. 216-279-3984. I have green card from asylum. I am from Cuba, but I'm bringing my family through the south border. They are already in Nicaragua. Can this affect my citizenship, or if I want to file them, can I do it?
Absolutely. I was wondering why within 2 years after your final grant, you did not file the 730 for them, but you already got the green card, but you're from Cuba. So maybe but they're still not here. See, if they're here, you can maybe do a non-proton asylum for them, but maybe try a 730, but they're already in Nicaragua. It take about 9 months to 1.5 years to get a 730 approval, but you already got the green card. See, maybe do a tourist visa because but they're in Nicaragua, so if they're willing to go somewhere, get a valid tourist visa. Because once they come on a tourist visa, you already got the green card. A green card for spouse and green card for children under 21, quota open. So after 90 days, you can directly adjust status, but they're not here. So my question is, why didn't we do a 730 when you had a final grant? When did you marry the spouse? If you married her after the final grant, but before you get green card, where did you marry her? Because you could not have gone back to Cuba. So these are all questions that we need answered. But I feel very bad for them. If you have married her before you got the final grant, why didn't you do a 730? And also, you probably came to America illegally because if you came wet soil, dry soil, you don't even need asylum. So these are all questions I would like to see answered.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Don't forget that Ms. Wong has offices in 9 cities of the United States, but you can reach out to her just over the number 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. Miss Wong, this case is interesting. This question right now. I am 17 years old and my girlfriend is also 17. We are getting married because we are in love. I am from Spain and she's from the States. Can she file for me? I will go there with ESTA visa to get married, but we want to know if she can do my documents
Wait,
now or if we
number
need to
one,
wait till
I
she's
know
21.
you're only 17 years old. What do you know? How did you meet her? Is she born here? How many times have you met her? Because I don't know about, because each state have different marriage laws. So, but I think when you're under 17 or just barely 17, you may need parents' permission to marry. But the law is if someone came to America on ESTA, which is a 90-day visa, if you marry her after 90 days, not within the 91st day, and file the green card, after that, if immigration approves you for adjustment of status, you're fine because you're not allowed to change your mind in 90 days. But I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. You guys are only 17 years old. Maybe just come on ESTA and see what you want to do. And you have ESTA. It's not like you need to marry someone to come to America. Personally, if I'm your mother, I would say no marriage. But that's me. I'm an old tiger mom. But just wait, all right? You don't have to wait till 21. You could marry anything. But as a mother, I think that's silly. And you don't need to get married to get a green card. You have ESTA. You're from Spain. I mean, it's not like you're from Mexico or China or something.
Yeah,
That's my take. Yeah.
that's true, Ms. Wong. And this is the main thing. They are 17. Why get married at this age if you still need to know what you want to do in your life?
That's right.
So that's very interesting. Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And the next question is, I'm a high school student seeking asylum. I'm from Guatemala, but I have a problem. My friends like cars, and we went to a type of race on the streets, and the police caught us. They took me to jail for illegal races, but I was not driving. I was just watching. Can this affect my
Uh,
asylum case?
It probably will, but since you are only 17, well, we have a lot of young kids today. So I don't know if you are an unaccompanied minor and you filed asylum on your own because you're only high school, be only 15, 16, 17, or did you file for yourself? But it will affect your asylum because asylum is not just about fear, it's also about who you are. And let's face it, the judges are all like me. We are older. We like good kids. We like it will affect, but the question more is it a CIMT, crime of moral turpitude? Is it aggravated felony? Is it a felony? Is it a misdemeanor? Just be careful. What did I tell you? I always tell people, since we don't have green card citizen, you cannot commit any crimes. And what did I tell you? When there's a fight, when you're watching something, walk away. Don't get that. And then now you're tough. So you need a good lawyer or the public defenders, talk to them, and since you're only watching, maybe fight the charge. But if you already pled guilty, you need to talk to an immigration lawyer. You need also immigration advice on criminal cases. So make sure your parents maybe bring you to see a lawyer, both criminal and immigration, and combine the immigration and criminal. But I don't think it's really affecting your asylum issue. I think it's affecting your life because anytime you have criminal situation, if you go to medical school, you go to law school, to nursing school, you go to any professional schools, they will ask that question. Why come to America and be stupid? I mean, I feel bad for you, but for now, I don't know if you pled guilty yet, but if you pled guilty, you need to see what you pled guilty to. Is there a way to vacate and see if it's a CIMT, misdemeanor, felony, and stuff like that? All right.
Yeah, that's true, Miss Wong. This person says that he was just watching the race, but he was there. He
You
was kind
shouldn't
of
even be there. What are you
supporting.
doing?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
that's true.
sorry.
Thank you so much, Miss Wong. Okay, so don't forget that you can call. The phone number is 216-279-3984. 216-279-3984. Attorney Margaret W. Wong. She has over 14 attorneys working for her in every state. They can go anywhere where you need advice from your immigration attorney. So, Ms. Wong, this next question is, um, hi, Mrs. Wong. I just got my green card through marriage. But the truth is that I am done with the relationship. Can I divorce now? I just came back from Colombia a couple of weeks ago from getting my green card.
Right. So basically, what you need to do is to look at the date of your green card and look at the date of approval. If the approval is more than 2 years, then you got a 10-year green card. If the approval less than 2 years, you only got a 2-year green card. So 1 year, so 4 months, so 1 year, 8 months after the approval of first green card, you need to do a 751. There are two types of 751. You either remain married or you're divorced. So in limbo marriage, when sour in limbo, you cannot do a 751. All right. So for now, when you say you're done, I presume you have not filed divorce yet. But before you file for divorce, I would recommend you to go ahead and collect all the bona fides. And after divorce, make sure your tax return are either head of household, even if simply there's no divorce there. Make sure everybody know you're divorced. Don't ever say you're single, because most paper marriages or sham marriages, they always think that they're single because we all want to be single when we marry someone else. And also, when you're married, make sure the tax return is filed married and joint or married and separate. You don't need to change your last name. I presume you're the woman. But there should be a lot of proof to say it's real, it's bona fide. Your employer should know you're married, because it would be nice to get a letter from the employer saying that in the HR paper said you're married and stuff like that. You're only getting a green card a month ago, which really is weird. But it's okay, because at the time of green card, you're still married. So try to postpone the divorce as long as you could, because the longer the case, the better the case. You also say you just came back from Colombia 2 weeks ago. So I presume the day you got a green card, you booked a ticket, you went to Colombia, and you came back 2 weeks ago. So I think it may be too fast, because immigration is very sensitive. They may think you found someone there, stuff like that. So, but the most important thing is collect all the bona fides. The second thing is try not to get divorced too fast, but you could get divorced and protect green card. Love is not slavery, so you could do it.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And this case is interesting. I'm gonna read it. It says, I had a case of sex molestation 7 years ago. I went to court and they detained me for 8 months, and then I was deported back to Mexico. I tried to come 3 times back to the United States, but they stopped me and they turned me back to Mexico. This time I came back, but I was detained for a couple weeks. And when I was going to be deported, they said that I had to come to Atlanta to get my court related to this sex molestation case. Why is that?
That's interesting. I presume you were deported because of a maybe aggravated felony. So anytime you had a deportation because of criminal, because sometimes even though you have criminal, but you're not deported because of criminal, they only charge you with overstay. And you were stopped 3 times. I presume they reinstated your old deportation 3 times. So it depends on why, because lately there's just not enough jail space, and Biden is under a lot of pressure to not separate families. So you may have brought in a small child. Um, but I think what you need to do is really talk to a criminal lawyer and see if there's any way you can vacate this molestation charge, if it's a minor, if it's, so sexual molestation is pretty serious. So I'm presuming it's aggravated. So number one, you need to all your old files, check why were you deported, and check FOIA for court and FOIA from CIS and the criminal record. If it's a state, it's a municipal court, there's a big difference, federal crime. And also check the 3 times you came back. Did you get federally charged for illegal re-entry? And then look at the NTA, because when they send you to see immigration in Atlanta, actually Atlanta immigration court is becoming better now than 3 or 4 years ago. The tough ones, they all got promoted to Washington. So to see a judge, you may want to look at the notice to appear and say why. Are they trying to reinstate an old deportation? Did it give you a second chance to fight the case? And the first time you were deported, was that an in absentia deportation? Or you just signed we call them stipulation. So all this you need to understand. But the most important thing, it always, I believe, is like building a house. A lot of us are construction workers. The management of a project, this is a management of how to fight deportation, and also to rehab your image into not just a sexual molestation, because I don't even know if you are a sexual registry. You have to register 7 years ago, because I have a lot of cases where once they know that to start the registration and tell your neighbors you are there, they don't even want to come back because they don't want the neighbors to be scared of them and stuff like that. So these are things that you need to consider. Get that FOIA for the whole file, because immigration is not stupid. Once in a while they make a mistake, but you were already arrested 3 times. They didn't make a mistake on this one.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. And don't forget that you can call the attorney Margaret W. Wong, who has been working on this field for over 45 years. And the phone number is just 216 279 3984. 216 279 3984. You can also find information on YouTube. You can find information on her Facebook page, which is in Spanish and English. Also, her Instagram account, Margaret W. Wong and Associates. You can find a lot of information. Or if you want to talk to someone in the office, just give us a call, 216 279 3984. 216 279 3984. Ms. Wong, for a person who is coming from India, um, if they come to work in a gas station, would they get a visa for that, or a work visa or an investment visa to come to work in a gas station?
Investment visa right now is on 800,000. Is a direct investing. It came up from 500,000 from about two years ago. So and the new law on investment visa, and I don't know if it's in effect yet, is you can direct file together with the 526, the investment visa application and the green card. So at least they'll stop your illegal stay in America. That's an investment visa. But there's no visa to work in a gas station.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. This testimony, this person is asking just to keep the identity in secret. So I came on June 23, 2021. My family is still in my country. I was military, uh, and I am fleeing the military service in my country because I had a lot of trouble. My question is if I could file asylum before June the 23rd, and what happens if I don't file it before June the 23rd? And is that enough that I was a military member, uh, to file the asylum because I don't want to go back to the military forces in my country?
Okay, I wonder what country he's from, because if you are in the military, which means that you're not trying to avoid a draft. In America, there's already a lot of case laws like China, South Korea. There's a lot of countries that they require you to join this service. It's a requirement. Israel. So just because I personally don't want to join the service in my country, that's not enough of a reason for asylum. In this case, I think this is a different case because you belong to the military and you're fleeing, and I don't know why you're fleeing you don't like. So if it's a personal belief, you don't believe in a military, that's not enough. And you are in the military force, I would be careful because especially a lot of Middle Eastern cases, um, they they they're required to join the military. So if in the military, like in China, abortion and one-child policy is mandatory. So a lot of doctors, nurses, we are trained to do abortion. In America, that's the perpetration of a crime, which in China is all legal because there's only one child. You can only one child. So anytime you have more than one child, it doesn't matter how many months they have to abort the child. So that's what we call persecutorial bar. So anytime you committed acts that's in violation of the asylum law, you would never be approved an asylum or green card. Um, so depends on what country you're from. Was it a corrupt country? It's El Salvador. Okay, so you're probably a policeman because as long as you're fleeing corruption from a military, you're okay. I mean, if you're a policeman, if they're forcing you to do bad things, and you reported the inability and unavailability of the government to help you to protect the citizens, especially because of corruption of police, and you don't want to be corrupted and stuff like that, may be a chance. So it depends on the story and the narrative. But just because you don't want to go back is not enough.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Wong. And well, our time is almost gone, Miss Wong. We just have a couple minutes, but it's interesting how the world is changing and how this country is changing as well. On one side, we are talking about a recession that is probably coming due to all that's happening around the world, but also people don't want to work. So, or people want to do their own business. So, what are your thoughts about the situation that we are living worldwide right now?
See, I think it's interesting because people think immigration lawyers, President Biden, we have open door policy, we welcome everybody. That's not true. Most immigration lawyers, I think, believe what, because I am an immigration, I've been around 45 years doing this, believe what it should not everybody should come in, but the legal immigrants, like if I got a green card, I should be able to come in, right? If I invested 1.5 million, in fact, we have a case like that. The 526 was approved in year 2000, but because of the virus, the interview keep getting canceled. Now the child is over 21. So now we have to fight against time, but American embassy is not answering because of the virus. They're not even going to work. And Trump already fired more than 200 USCIS personnel around the world working in state departments. So their positions, we don't have enough people, we're ignoring you. So those cases are wrong. But when you talk about new people coming in, the only way American laws are I think is very fair. I know I'm naive. I believe in the American system. The American system is, if you qualify for asylum, you should be allowed to apply for it, but not the whole world. I mean, everybody that have a husband that's ready to, have cancer. My children are gonna, and then you come to America. You couldn't do that because then America is already poor. So I myself sometimes struggle with this and how to explain to people, oh, you help a lot of immigrants stay in America even though they're illegal. On the other hand, you are saying that people should stop coming to America just because blah blah blah, But reality is America cannot absorb all these people. We just can't. Because once they come in, there's social services, we have to give them mental health issues. Who's going to pay for all that? Because our own people inside, and I know it sounds so bad, are not even protected. We have more than 15 million people who have no work permits, have no green cards. And the PD memo just came out last week. In fact, a big news that started is there's a court now that wants us to stop 1 week of the PD memo. You cannot even ask for dismissal now. So new things are coming, and all this sudden surge is really, I can go on and on. I'm sorry, Mr. Juan Carlos. Yeah.
No problem, Ms. Wong. I understand, and this is something that we actually need to talk about. I was talking to a person who just came to the United States. His trip was over a month trip. He came all the way from Peru, crossed around Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, Mexico, and made it to the United States. His feet were swollen, and he almost couldn't make it through the river. And then he was just looking for the border patrol because he was uh, getting dehydrated. So, and he made it here. So they came on a flight from Texas detention center. And the thing is that he was saying that all the way here he was detained several times in all of those countries, and there is no comparison from those detention centers to the detention centers in the United States. However, all he got during one day was one apple. One apple was all the food he got in the detention center for one day. So it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to believe that we are going through this. And even though we are living in a great country, sometimes the situation is so hard that uh, is not enough. Even the system is not enough for so many people trying to come into the United States. So thank you so much, Miss Wong, for all the work you do every single day. You work hard, even Saturdays and Sundays. I see you reading your newspaper. I see you doing a lot of things. I see you working hard, and I've seen some bosses that they they don't work that hard, and their people in the office work really hard, but you are the hardest worker in the office. Everybody works really hard, but you are the hardest
Oh,
worker in your office. So thank you so much for all
thank
you
you.
do, because we know you do it from your heart.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Miss Wong.
Can I make one more comment? Yeah,
Yeah.
talking about, sorry, that will to survive walking through all the land, maybe there is a story there. I would have him write down, his thoughts, but more than that, what propelled him? How old is he? He's only from Peru. Peru now is a poor, but they have all these wonderful, it's a pushy or whatever, so I would have him write, what's the problem? What does his father do? What does his mother do?
This
There
new
must
president
be
is
a
bad.
fear.
This new president is bad. In
Okay,
the same line as the Castros, Chavez, and all of them.
good.
So
So
in
he
the
must
same
be
line.
educated because most of the people who support presidents like that, they're poor people. So he must be educated. He probably have something. But that will, I would dig deeper. Maybe he has a good asylum case. I won't and see what he did because he may have worked for a government agency, and with these people coming in is bad. I mean, you just have to keep talking, and you speak Spanish, which I don't. I think there may be a story there because that
Yes.
will to survive. If it's me now at my age, I would like, oh, just turn back. I don't need all this. But why? And that I love to hear the story. Maybe one day he'll write a book for us. And there's
I
so
will
many stories like that. Yeah.
I will try to get him to see you at the office here in
Oh no
the.
no no! He doesn't see me, but I was thinking you speak Spanish, so with
Oh
how
yeah, yeah, yeah.
kind you are, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't mind seeing him, but there must be something to make him do all that.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure
Yeah.
there is. Thank you so much, Miss Wong. And we're already in June. Next month, somebody is having birthday, so we're gonna have a party by July. Thank you so much, Miss Wong, and
Thank
see you next time.
thank you.
Thank you. For everybody who has joined us today, don't forget that the phone number is 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984. The attorney Margaret W. Wong, the one that really, really, really knows about immigration. Don't forget to call 216-279-3984, 216-279-3984.